Hey, it's Wes, and I wanted to take a quick break today. I'm not going to show any gameplay today. Long story short, to kind of summarize the gameplay, um, I played a lot yesterday, and one of the things that kind of happened was I played that veto deck just to try it out, see how good it actually was. I didn't like it, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a black player. I'm not, and I even tried to rebuild it into a black-green, and I still couldn't do the black-green. But it's one of those things where the advantage of paper Magic over online Magic really starts here. And just to kind of show you, some of these cards are just some of the cards that are in my personal collection. I've got a Mirari, I've got a handful of Angels. These here, I mostly just like the artwork. Kind of the same thing here. A lot of these are mostly Angels. That's kind of what I like. These down here are from Time Spiral Remastered, with the exception of this one. It's a Strixhaven. Some of these cards are actually worth a lot. Some of them are not worth a whole lot. In fact, I think Mirari over here might be worth 80 bucks. So anyways, what I wanted to show you is first and foremost the advantage of paper Magic over online Magic. I'm going to turn my camera so you can kind of focus more specifically on these cards. Real quick, these cards over here are kind of some of my favorite cards as well. They're in my personal collection for long-term holding. Some of them are worth, most of these aren't really worth anything, but some of them are worth something. This very first one, though, is Professor Onyx. It's a little bit of a darker tint to it than most Professor Onyxes. It is the borderless foil. I have no idea how much it's going for. Don't really care. It's going in my long-term hold. Now, being a boy from Southern Illinois, it'd be wrong if I didn't have a Walter Payton card. So, forgive me. Oh, and this stuck to the back side of Walter, so I got to show you this. This is Radiant Archangel from the Urza time period of Magic the Gathering some 20 years ago. I started playing Magic in like 96, 97. So a lot of these cards, I have a lot of them that are really old. I have like probably a couple thousand cards. Most of my old cards, though, aren't worth much because I was a poor guy. And whenever I did get a good card in a pack, I usually sold it to get more packs to help build decks. So this whole idea of building on budgets is what I've done as a paper Magic player. But that's Radiant. Now this one here, Rowan, Scholar of Sparks, this is extended artwork. On the back side of this is Will, her brother, extended artwork. So I love this card. Very, very good card to hold on to, I think. So going forward, that's one we'll hold on to. This Silence, another very, very, I'm guessing probably a high dollar card. It's probably why it's in the sleeve anyways. Seer Angel, this was actually given to me by a friend. It's in rough shape, but it was given to me by a friend, so I don't really care about the condition. I'm going to keep it forever. And on the back side, one of my first pulls, I ever just went straight from the package right into the sleeve. And that's a Rhea Dawnbringer, and I've always kept it ever since. I've got Tomb of Yawgmoth, which is a pretty popular card. Lotus Bloom, Bojuka Bog in foil. Chalice of the Void. Mila, Crafty Companion. On the back side, Luca, Wayward Bonder. The thing about these cards is this. I own these cards. These are not a line of code in a video game. I own these cards, and I'm always going to own these cards. They're going to be in my long-term collection. You know, I talked about the veto deck yesterday. I've got the card. I have it. Chandra, I've got her. Kind of the same thing. I was talking about her the other day. And Liliana, I've got her as well. Now, this Lucille's kind of weird. The guy who did the artwork on this of course, is from some special release they did. This Lucille Bath, though, I don't know if it's ever going to get worth a whole lot. The thing is, the guy who did the artwork for it is the same guy who did the artwork for this Crux of Fate. And this Crux of Fate was actually cited as having been plagiarized. I have got one of the very few Crux of Fates that were, in fact, from the plagiarized artist. So the guy who made this, I can't really see his name on here, Jason Felix, admitted that he plagiarized it. And in fact, you can actually Google it, plagiarized Crux of Fate, and you can actually look up some articles about it. And it's one of those things where this card, I have no idea what's going to be worth, because what they did is they actually pulled this card from print, and they started printing a different version of this card without this art. Now, in Strixhaven's set, which is what this is from, there's like 4 different variants of each card already. So all they had to do is just pull this one variant, and they may have just decided to print more of the others. However, I've got the fake, whatever you want to call it, ripped off card. Who knows what that's going to be worth in the future. I got a couple No Mercies. They're worth probably like $50 each. They're old. I got Fibalt in foil. I have got, this one's an interesting one, Space Godzilla Death Corona foil, extended art. About a year ago, this card was released. Now, Wizards of the Coast, when they start making sets, they're making them a year to 2 years in advance. A year ago, Corona had hit, and of course, Space Godzilla Death Corona probably wasn't a very good idea for the name of a card, especially considering that, you know, the coronavirus had come. So they'd spent, you know, 2-3 years getting this card ready. By the time it's ready to go and they drop it, the coronavirus had come. They actually pulled this card from print. This card is no longer printed. And they changed the name of it. And I think it's something like Space Godzilla Void Invader now. This card right here. So you can check that out also. You can Google that and search that. What that card's going to be worth in the future, I have no idea. I've got a handful of Winter Orbs, if you're familiar with what those are. A couple of old school Icy Manipulators. Those are worth a little bit. A couple Dingus Eggs. That's my only one in this particular set. I got Eye of the Reliquary. I got Radiant Sierra Archangel. And I got Radiant in a, this is a type of foil. It's like an etched foil. So here's the thing. I 100% believe paper magic is always better than the alternative. We're going to put Walter on top because Walter's cool. Paper magic is always better. And the reason why is because these cards are worth what people are willing to pay for them. And that is, to me, is significantly better than anything that I can go and purchase online and just have a little line of code saying I own something. To me, I think that that's one of the silliest things. Don't spend money on Magic the Gathering Arena. Spend money on paper cards. Build an offline collection. Because in the end, it's what's really worth it. Thanks for tuning in.